that there's a crew in town. The head hillbillies are making their rounds. Small town whispers loud and clear. The sheriff shot the judge in his chambers chair.
Sheriff got a secret he won't keep. Judge shot dead in his disbelief. A lot of people have some stories to tell. Dark pass away, get the sound of a shotgun shell.
All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground, rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Neighbors hide behind their blinds, whisper tales of troubled minds. Skeletons covering the mountainside, a treacherous reality in the pines.
Winter reveals the hidden lies. Moonlight couldn't mask their cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise. All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground, rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Winter reveals the hidden lie. Moonlight could mask their cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise.
All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground, rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Hello, everybody. Hey. How is everybody? You excited? I'm excited. Welcome to the show. My name is Elizabeth, and this is Hillbilly Crime. Sweet Tater was supposed to be with us, but she's not answering her phone, and she hasn't jumped on yet. But I sent her the link, so if she jumps on, we'll have her here with us too. The wait is over. They finally released the last clip of the security footage from in the Letcher County Courthouse. So they kind of piecemealed it. They released pieces, as the investigation went along. I don't know why they did it the way that they did it, but different news networks have been able to get the different pieces of footage. So the last time they released the footage that we saw of the judge and the sheriff going to their lunch, they went to lunch down the street at Street Side, and then it showed them coming back. It showed them in the judge's chambers earlier that day before they went to lunch. So the only piece that they had not released, and they showed it after the pew happened, the only piece that they had held on to and was not releasing was about a 5-minute piece in between. And it's what happened right before the pew happened. We've got it. Okay. And we're going to watch it. I I screen recorded it and stuff, but we're going to watch it this way through the news network who got it. So this was with, I guess I'm going to have to allow, or it's not going to let me do it. So this is with Fox News. And let's pull it all the way back to the back. Remember, there's no audio here, okay? Now, so you see, okay, let me stop it. We gotta kind of set the scene, okay? Remember, when they left after lunch, Michael Clark, the preacher man, he's standing there in his blue shirt with the baseball cap, okay? He's the one who walks in with Mickey. You see Mickey up in the corner walking into the judge's chambers. Mickey and Michael had left after lunch to go deliver food boxes. And they normally did this. This was something that they normally did. They would go to Kane Kitchen, which is a nonprofit. They would usually deliver, from what I've learned, was about 40 boxes. And this particular day, they went down and they only had two or three boxes that they picked up, which was very odd. And even some of the one of the workers who worked there, it had got back to me that they thought it was odd too, that they had only picked up a couple boxes. Well, they normally deliver them somewhere, wherever they deliver them. Well, this day where they had only picked up a couple, from what his lawyer said, Mickey's lawyer did an interview, and it said that he said that Mickey felt like he was being lured into an area where it was isolated, where somebody could do something to him. So him and Michael are just getting back from this food box delivery. All right. Now I want you to pay real good attention to this, because it looks to me, and we're going to watch it a couple times because I had to, but it looks to me like Mickey comes into the office, and I just wonder what him and Michael were talking about on that food box delivery. What all was said on that outing? What all was said? Because when Mickey comes in here, it looks to me like he's getting real short-tempered with this other rehab fella that's sitting up in the chair. And it just looks like, to me, now this is just my perception of it, looks to me like Mickey's not really happy with Michael or that other rehab guy. It looks to me like they're having words. And it also looks to me like the judge is smirking and kind of like laughing at him. Tell me what you think. We're going to watch it a couple times. Watch him. He's going to point. So him and Michael are sitting there talking back and forth. Then he looks at this other rehab fella. See? He goes like that. He shuts the door. And that dude is getting his stuff, and he's getting the heck out of Dodge. Very, very telling, isn't it? Ting that. Now, Mickey looks to me like he's calling Judge out on something here. He's found out about something and he's confronting the judge right now. And the judge is like, oh, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I can see his eyebrow. He's got his eyebrow all arched right there. There's no audio, so it's just video. And see, Mickey's talking to him. The judge is trying to, man, that ain't true. Man, that ain't true. I'm wondering if what the rumor that got started right after this happened, who's he calling? I'm telling you. Yeah, Mickey's PO'd. He sure is. That's why they didn't release this 5-minute piece of footage. That's why they didn't release this, because it shows. It shows. Look at Judge. He's sitting over there like, nuh-uh. I can't believe you'd think this. I can't believe you'd think that that's what's going on. See him? He's got his eyebrows all like, what are you talking about, dude? The preacher's got to know a whole lot more than what he's let on that he knows. And I don't care what anybody says. They can say mental illness all they want to. I don't believe that. But that's just me, and we're all entitled to our own opinion. I might say something that you may not agree with sometime. You may say something that I don't agree with all the time. And that's perfectly fine. We can agree to disagree at any moment. We can still love each other. Okay. He asked him for his phone. And he gave it over. Now, right here, as soon as Mickey does this, he called. Who's he talking to? He's on the phone. It looks to me like he's speaking to somebody. I don't think that was a voicemail unless he left a voicemail. Yeah. Yeah, I'm already on. Come on. Look, now he grabbed it. See? I told you. Look. Judge went to stand up and he told him to sit back down. Look. Here, I'm going to rewind it. I got to watch that again. Let's go back to the beginning of the phones, because Mickey asks him for the phone. Mommy's coming on too. So he's asking him. Looks to me like, look, see, he points to him. Let me see your phone. So he pulls it out of his pocket, gives it to him. How many people's phone is just unlocked? You know what I mean? I've got a passcode on my phone. What about you guys? You got a passcode on your phone? So he's on the judge's phone right now, and he's getting something off of his phone. Look here. I'm telling you, this 5-minute piece of video is exactly why they kept it, because I think it's very telling. And anybody that knows these two can read this body language. We all know the judge. We all know Mickey. And look here. He stands up. We're already on here, Mommy. You'll have to catch up. He stands up.
Okay.
And he's angry. He's mad. And he pulls his shirt like this up away from the belt. Man. Look there. Now, he's done pulled it. I told you all he had that in his hand at the beginning of that other video. And he starts to stand up. Now, one thing, look, he locks the door. One thing that everybody knows about Kevin, the judge, is that he always carried a pew-pew. Now, I've heard that that used to, many years ago, he always wore an ankle holster. Somebody else told me that he's had, and then there's the pew-pew. It happens that fast. That fast. All right, look there. We're going to watch it again, Mommy. I think it just went out on us. There we go. Is that your, or is that me? Okay.
That's me beeping.
Oh, that's you beeping. Okay.
I'm trying to make it shut up. This video does this video have any sound?
Nope, it doesn't have any sound. It's gonna fuss at me. All right, that's all right. I'm gonna get it back. Okay, let's see what everybody is saying. And what is everybody?
Yeah,
I'll pull it back up here. Just
well, I know you will, but I mean, I'd like to see what people.
Little Biddle. Mickey felt like he was being lured. I wonder if that was justified or paranoia. Well, his lawyer said in that interview that they just gave, it was the very last interview. Mommy, what is all that's going on your stuff? I'll mute you.
It's loading.
Well, I muted you, so I can't hear you right now. So anyway, their lawyer, Mickey's lawyer, the last interview that he gave, he said that Mickey had every right to fear for his life. That lady that was interviewing him, I forget who it was, she asked him, she said, he sounded awful paranoid in that dash cam footage. And he said, I don't think that's paranoia. He had every right, or at least that's from what I remember him saying. He had every right to fear for his life. He knew things about these people whenever he was going for his deposition. Now, let me also drop another big piece of the puzzle here. Okay. The civil suit. We just saw a whole bunch of that stuff that was dropped recently with the civil suit. That I'm starting to wonder now, and not just me. I spoke to somebody else who's also starting to wonder if this civil suit might not be dismissed. There are a few reasons why we are wondering about this, and it's because of the statute of limitations. We're wondering if that's going to make a difference or have an impact on this civil suit. So here we go, Mommy. This is the thing. Let me get it all the way up here so everybody can see it. All right. Now watch. Mickey looks like he's upset. See? He went like this. He don't look like he's being very nice to these rehab people. And that lady there works in Kevin's courtroom. So all of these people were basically the same people that was in there earlier. All right. Now they sit down. You see Mickey. He's upset. And he looks to me like he's confronting. Look, Kevin was like, what? What? You heard what? What did I do? What was I supposed to do, man? He's confronting Kevin right now, is what he's doing. Now, I don't know what he was confronting him about. Mickey tried to call his daughter a whole lot. From several different sources, we found out that Mickey also went up to the high school to see his daughter that day. I don't know for sure if I don't know for sure if he got to see her. I have been told he didn't see her, but I don't know if that's true or not. You know how a lot of this stuff goes flying. But now I'm just starting to wonder, does this have anything to do with his daughter? You know, that was a huge rumor right at the beginning. And I'll tell you where I think a lot of that came from was the high school. And this is another little piece of information that nobody really knew. Right after this happened, I think it was either the same day or the next day. My friend, I have a friend, and she has a daughter that goes to the high school, LCC High School. And her daughter came home after this happened, after the pew-pew happened. And she said, well, Mom, I can tell you what, it's all over. And she said, well, what? And no, you can't, you know. She said, yeah, it's all over the high school. And then she told her what it was about, what she thought it was about, the rumors that were all over the high school. Well, there's some rumors all over the high school, y'all, that have been all over the high school since before this pew-pew happened. Now, that was one that if you've been watching me, that's one that I said the other night with Fish. We're going on Fish's show again tonight at 7:30, so make sure you watch it. Me and him are going to go over this video. I told Fish, though, the other night, some of these rumors that I thought at the beginning was no way, none of this is rumor. There's not a bit of truth to it. There's just no way. Well, then I find out later on, doing more investigation and things that just fall into my lap. Like, I didn't go looking for any of this stuff. I sure never dreamed it would end up in something like this mess, you know. Let's see if Mommy's computer's quit dinging. Yeah, we don't hear you dinging no more, Mommy.
No, I'm not dinging.
Coal miner's daughter says hi.
Hi, coal miner's daughter. I'm a coal
Little Biddle says,
miner.
what do you mean by rehab fella? Okay, so 2 of the men that were in there. See, look, he tells him to sit down. If the judge had his own pew-pew on his ankle, why didn't he grab it? And why didn't he just reach out and grab Mickey's hand right there? I mean, it looks to me like he was just like a whooped pup. You can tell Mickey's pissed. Look, he's breathing. His shoulders are going up and down, up and down. And there's the end of it. We're going to watch it again. Now, see, them two have just come back from taking those lunches. See, here they come, rolling in. Because they're best buddies, you know. The preacher man's his best buddy.
Tell us who they are.
Sorry, Mom.
That's the preacher man. Who's the woman in the window?
And the woman in the window works in Judge Mullins' courtroom. She's one of the clerks or whatever that works in the courtroom. Now, this guy that's sitting there, the one that just stood up, he's the other rehab fella. He's the other coordinator. So somebody asked what I meant by rehab fella. Both of those guys right there are what you called community liaisons. They both worked for two completely different rehab facilities, and they are who Judge Mullins would send his defendants rehab. But to me, it's been a big scheme. This has all been a big money kickback scheme from the very get-go. I mean, it probably started out with good intentions, but you know what they say about good intentions.
Well, so now who was the long-haired girl?
I don't know who she is. You know what? And they ain't nobody been able to tell me. So I don't know what she does. I see her a whole lot down there, but me and nobody else has said. They all said, oh, I don't know what she does. So I don't know.
So she works at the courthouse, or
But
does
she's
she
in
work
the
in rehab?
Yeah, she's in. No, I think she works at the courthouse. But I don't know what she does. I don't know who she is. I don't know her name. She's been very mysterious so far. So if anybody knows who the blonde is, drop me a line. Sheesh. But
All
you see,
right.
Judge, he's like, are you serious?
Now
And
he's
he's
going to smoke.
chain smoking one cigarette right after the other. Yeah, see, Mickey starts looking through his own phone, and then he says something to the judge about, let me see your phone, and the judge just reaches over and gives it to him. Look, he's like, he's like, I tell you, if I could see, I used to be pretty good at reading lips, but I can't see very well anymore. My eyesight's getting bad.
We
But
ought
I
to
could
get
see
you-
them big eyebrows popping up.
You get you some big specs.
That's what I think too. Karina says preacher told him something during that. The preacher told him something during that delivery. Mickey came back in that room annoyed and practically ordered everyone out of it by the looks of it.
That's
I think
what I
so too.
interpret.
And you also had the bowling. You also have Christina Bowling. Christina Bowling is the other female that works at the sheriff's department. And one thing you've got to know about this environment down there, it's all backstabby and two-faced as any place you could ever imagine. And so, gossip central. It is bad down there. So
Say,
there's
Elizabeth.
nothing that's going on. What? What?
Did you see, we've got a new sheriff?
Yeah.
So, did you see him singing a song on Facebook?
No, I didn't.
It was really cool. It was really cool.
Okay.
You
Okay,
should
well,
try
he
to
can
look
say
at it.
good for him.
Well, I just thought that was
All right, but
interesting.
I don't really. Okay. Okay, well, I don't remember what I was saying now, Mommy. I was saying something.
Well, you was just talking about what they's doing.
All right.
Just rethink it. So
Okay.
he locks the door.
Yeah.
When's he get that gun
Oh,
out?
I was talking about Christy. He already did, Mommy. Can you not see it? Can you not see or hear? Because it sounds to me like
I'm
you're
old.
behind or
Well,
you're old.
your movie's not very good. It jumps and stops and starts. So let's watch it again.
All right. Well, so let me say what I was saying. Christine Bolin is the other female that works at the sheriff's department. She is the assistant to LaShawna Frazier, who is like, she's been there through like the last two or three sheriffs. Every time somebody new gets elected and comes into that office, they all have to bring in their own new staff, or they don't have to, but they can. They can have their own staff. They don't have to keep on the employees from the previous administration. But she's really had some good job security, because when somebody new comes in, they don't know how to run that office. They don't know what stuff that they need to have done, so she's really got her some good job security with that job, because anytime somebody new comes in, they don't know what to do, so they got to keep her, basically. But so Christina Bolin turned her phone in after the pew happened, because there was apparently a text message between Mickey and Miss Bolin right before he went in to the judge's chambers there. Now, I don't know. They haven't told us. We don't know if that has anything to do with this, but they've got the phone records, and I'm just not too convinced. I'm not convinced. They've got all the phone records. They've pulled the judge's phone records, and they've pulled Mickey's phone records. And oh, thank you, honey. Thank you. Bless you, bless you, bless you. We've gotten a whole bunch today. We needed it, y'all. We're behind really bad this month. And I can't do this without y'all's support. So bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. D in us. AU says, was he trying to call his daughter on his phone, but she didn't answer, so he tried calling her on the judge's phone? She calls back during the pew. Maybe original rumor was right. Well, that what I've heard from the story I was giving you all from my friend's daughter saying it was all over the high school. I'm not going to repeat what she said, because if I did, it would just be all bad. And so we don't want to do that. Let's see. Striving for Titus 2. Did you see Tweety motion towards Mickey with the blue notebook as he walked in? I think they were all talking, and I think that they all know more. I think by what we just saw right there, that boy, when Mickey went like that, it looked to me like Mickey was saying, get out of here. Midnight says, look at Mickey's body language. I know. And his body language in this video is a whole lot different than what it was in those others. He was mad. He looked really, really mad. Connie W. He shut that door to keep them there, but they booked. Yeah, he shut the door before he told them to get out, didn't he? He shut that door, and that boy jumped up out of that seat. I mean, he was that other rehab boy looked to me like he was moving faster than any of them were. He looked to me like he was moving faster than Tweety Bird was. Jenny says, soon as he pointed, they all got up. They sure did. We're going to watch this several times, y'all. I can't help it. Let's see. We'll have to exit back. Here we go. All right. There's no audio with it, so we can just talk right along through it. I've gotten pretty good at doing that. But it looks whatever. See, that's
Keep
what
your family safe
one of
through
the reasons
vaccination.
why.
The Pike County Health Department offers vaccinations for adults and children from birth through 8.
One reason why I'm saying maybe this thing with the daughter does have some teeth. What else would make? I just don't see any other reason. I don't see any other thing causing Mickey to get that mad. See, look, everybody's laughing. And he pointed to Mickey, and Mickey says, see, I think see, he's going, yeah. Because Michael came in saying something about him. You can just tell it. You can see by their body language. Look, Mickey was pissed, and everybody in that room knew it. And look at the judge. He's just kind of smirking. I told you all that video that they were doing before. The video that they had before lunch looked to me like the judge was smirking at him or about him. Trying to get us down there where you can see it. We'll get Fish's take on it at 7:30. I'm going to go on with Fish at 7:30. And I'll share the link on Facebook and on the YouTube. Post. See, look, he's trying to call on his phone. I don't know if he's talking. I zoomed that in. I did on my phone. I did a screen record on my phone, and I zoomed it in on the judge while he's talking. And so we can watch that later. I have to get it moved from my phone over to my computer. But if you think about it, what did they say he said? They were trying to kidnap my wife and kid. And then all of the stuff that he was saying in the car. Who are you handing me over to? Who are you handing me over to? And if you think about it, he did, sound like a little paranoid, but think about all the stuff that he knew. You got to think about all the things that he knew. I get scared. Honestly, I do. I get scared. I get kind of paranoid sometimes. Scared. And it ain't nothing. It ain't a thing. Turns out not to be a thing. But look. So Mickey took his glasses off, put his glasses on his hand. He had already said, let me see your phone. Put his hand out there to get it. And this all happened so fast, too. He's examining these phones. And look, he's putting in the phone number or text, and he could also be no, he's putting in a phone number. You can kind of see the phones from where we're at, from our angle, our vantage point. You can kind of see that, and that looks to me like that was a face, like a contact. Sometimes, like if you have a contact, you can set a picture or a photo or something to that contact. Now that did look like his daughter from a distance. It did look like it could have been.
There he goes.
Yep. See, look. Now watch. He grabs his pew-pew right there. See? Now watch. Judge goes to get up, and Mickey said, you better sit right back down. Now, if he had his pew-pew on his ankle, why ain't he grabbed it?
Well, he didn't have it on his ankle.
There goes. Nope, didn't have it. Mickey locked the door. Now, he pew-pews him right now.
The judge
I think this is where the video Judge is trying to talk his way out of it, and he's been sitting there for the last 5 minutes or 6 minutes, 7 minutes trying to talk his way out of it. See, look at him. Whenever they walk through the door, you can see Michael motion to Mickey with his blue notebook. See? Like trying to tell this, whatever. I don't know what he's saying. But then you see Mickey gets offended. And these two over here start to say something to him. Look, he's having words with Michael. And then the judge says something to him. And Mickey looks to me like he's awful upset. Looked to me like Mickey told him to get out. DC 28. Yep. Sunnyside says when you zoom in to it, it looks like a woman's face. I thought so too. Looked to me like his daughter. So Wanda Davis says they say where there's smoke, there's always a little fire. Yep. I knew she was picked up that day in a police car. I'm not sure if it was before or after it happened. Well, what is the pastor's reputation? Is he a bad dude? Well, he's still preaching. He's still preaching.
He had some organization down in Lexington sponsoring him. They're not sponsoring him no more.
Yeah. Nope. Mickey said before the finger point right now. Yeah, I caught that too. I caught that too. There's some things I could catch. There were some things the judge was saying that I was able to catch here or there. but I just can't see very good. His facial expressions tell me more. His facial expressions. And anybody that lives here, anybody that knows the judge is seeing exactly what I'm seeing too. Anybody that knew him. His face was not, he didn't have a real good poker face. I don't know. But they say he loved to play cards. So I bet he did have a real good poker face. I bet he had a real good poker face. Is that sheriff's office is elected like the rest of Kentucky? Yes, it's elected. They appointed, whenever Mickey resigned, they appointed this new sheriff. And apparently he can sing, Mommy said.
But he's right now going for, and he's
Well,
being he's right now campaigning to be reelected.
Yeah, I knew he was campaigning. That's the only time you ever see any of these people, y'all, is when it's campaign time. That's the only time they'll shake your hand or speak to you unless you're their friend.
Well, he sure can sing pretty and play the guitar nice.
Well, don't let that fool you, honey. The devil himself was God's favorite musician. You better remember that. If you look closely at his phone, it looks like he is trying to FaceTime somebody. The rumors were about the judge. I don't know. They're right after the pew pew happened. It was all over. It was on all the network news. It was everywhere that supposedly there was some kind of a relationship between the judge and the sheriff's daughter. Now, immediately they came out and shot that down. The family, the preacher came out. He was the very first one, said that he had permission from the family to say it. And he got a whole lot of backlash after that. And he ended up having to take his video down. And you got to remember, when Sabrina gave her testimony, when she gave her deposition, when she was interviewed, what was, I don't think it was the deposition. I think it was the interview. It was the interview when Ben Fields was being investigated for having schmecks with the girls on house arrest. Well, whenever they did that, they gave Sabrina, that was when they gave her a proffer, what they call a proffer. And that proffer let her say anything, stuff, even if it wasn't, even if they didn't really know true, or if they'd heard rumors or anything like that, they were allowed to say anything that they believed or whatever. So Sabrina said that she saw, but I don't know how that ended up coming out. But she said that she had seen a video of the judge and higher ups having schmecks with girls for their charges and stuff. Now, I've seen a video myself. I've got it, of one of these higher ups doing some naughty things. But it doesn't look to me like any investigation was even conducted. They had to interview Ben. They had been. Heck, he confessed to it. They had They got a plea bargain from him. He pled guilty, and it doesn't look to me like there was any investigation done into the judge or any of the higher ups. Looks to me like they took the guilty plea from Ben and hit the high road, and they were out of here. Well, now look at the mess that we're in. When you got a whole bunch of people that are doing bad things, just imagine what Mickey was going through for those days around that deposition. You had all these people that were doing bad things that were probably all up in his ear trying to get themselves out of some kind of trouble. Make sure that they didn't go down with anybody. And it's all speculation, of course. We don't know anything. I mean, for sure. But there's a whole lot of women who've been scared for a long time. You've got a whole lot of people who are really fearful to come forward and tell their stories because look what Ben got. Ben pled guilty to what he did, and he got 6 months in jail. That's it. So if anybody else was to get in trouble, and they're going to get a guilty plea. We've been bringing up a lot of the pedophiles in this area. These SMEX crimes. I think what we are seeing start to raise its ugly head. I think that there is an absolute SMEX trafficking ring that has been working in this area for a very, very long time. But it's just become so normalized. You've got so many powerful people who are involved in all of this stuff. And I don't think that this is something that has just now taken place. We're talking about something that happened 20 years ago at its height. At its height. And over the years, it has just warped and become fluid and developed in whatever which way that it went. You just got way too many people that are privy to all of this stuff and that have been privy to all of this stuff for all these years. And people were never afraid. The powerful people were never afraid that they were going to get in trouble because they've always been able to hold it under wraps. They've always been able to get out of it. Nobody ever asks any questions. Nobody ever asks any questions. Butterfly kisses. Tweety Bird already knew when he entered Judge's chamber with Mickey, it was going down. Oh, yeah, he looked scared. He looked like he knew he had already let the cat out of the bag and that Mickey was PO'd. And like when they first came in the room, how do weasels work when they know that they've said something they weren't supposed to say? Have you ever been in that situation? They'll be the first one to try and jump out and say something to get in front of it. And it kind of looks like that's what he did when they came through. He said something to the judge first, kind of like warning him what was coming or something. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. But that's what it looked like to me. That's what it looked like to me. Well, you got anything you want to say about it, Mommy?
Well,
you got anything you want to say?
Well, it looks to me like that there was something there's talking about. And it wasn't going very good with the sheriff. And I think it was something the sheriff wasn't supposed to know.
I think so too. I think it was
I don't
something that
know
was
how
supposed to be
that you
kept.
can do naughty things and other people know about them, and you think that it won't get told, because it will.
They always tell on each other.
Yeah, I mean,
They always tell on each other. Yes, it's sad, Mommy. It's sure sad. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here now. Go ahead, Mommy. What was you going to say?
Well, what's sad is that we live in a place where those kinds of things should not be happening, because it's not like that we're in a big city where everybody doesn't know everything that's going on. And that should have been taken care of years ago. But there's just nobody strong enough that thinks that it's wrong will stand up and do something about the issue, because the other people around the courthouse had to know that was going on, and they had gossip about it. I mean, I'd think it was a hot topic myself. I'd be just right in there talking about it, but nobody's willing to do what needs to be done and kind of be the squealer, you know.
Yeah, that's
Informer
exactly
or whatever. But every one of them ought to be ashamed of themselves for not doing it sooner. You know what I'm saying? It's come out now in this awful way that it would have never come out. Well, if they had gone ahead and told it, then this wouldn't have happened.
That's exactly right. You hit that right on the head. There ain't been nobody that was strong enough. Oh, and I don't even know if it's a strength thing. Maybe it's moral enough. Maybe they just haven't.
Because when you become the one that's the tattletale, I forget what that guy's called. It's the tattletale,
Yeah.
The snitch. The snitch. You're in a bad situation, because the snitch can go either way for you. They can all turn it on you. And then the whole business from Frankfurt on down is going to be against you.
Yep.
So,
That's right.
The blame, the issue, the fault goes all the way to the top.
It's
even
political.
To the governor.
It's political suicide. If any of them were to try and stand up against that, it would have been immediate political suicide, because none of them would put their money behind you in another election. They're sure not going to back in an election, especially if it causing them trouble. But which we already know that Mickey, the sheriff, was not running again. He had already been in there twice for 2 terms. He was out. He was leaving. And he only had, this was September 19th. He only had till November. He only had 2 more months. The election, and he was not running in the election for a 3rd time. He was retiring. He was out. And we just saw with the civil lawsuit, this civil lawsuit, they took Mickey out and they replaced him with our new sheriff in this civil lawsuit. And this looks like this is a very common practice that they do that. So that deposition doesn't necessarily carry as much weight as I thought it did once this happened.
Well, somebody's going to be sued, and I don't know if Letcher County has insurance or what, but those girls are going to get some money.
Well, I think they're going to end up trying to dismiss it, because they did not bring it within a year. The statute of limitations on this case is only a year. And now I don't know that. I haven't seen anything about a dismissal, but I think that they're going to end up filing a motion to dismiss it. If they haven't already. I have not looked into the motion everything that we saw the other night was in the reply. So I finally got the original motion. So I'm going to read through that and see what it says. But as
The lawyer
as
has to get some
easily-
money.
as easily as they replaced Mickey with the new sheriff, and it looked, because as long as the suit was still pending, and he was no longer the sheriff, then it looks like this is just a common practice that they do that. They would replace him with the new sheriff. Now, I'm just kind of piecing this together. I would also assume that the Sheriff's Association has a specific, is that you, Mom?
No. What was it?
That must be me. Never mind, it was me. I was blaming it on Mommy.
What was you doing?
They were having airstrikes in Israel.
Oh.
I thought that was coming through from you. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. I forgot what we was even saying now.
Well, I just don't think they should have replaced in that lawsuit that they should have replaced Mickey.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
with-
that's what.
I just don't like that because I like that new sheriff.
Well, the fact that Mickey was the one that was accused of not training and not supervising him, I don't know how the sheriff, but I think it's just kind of like a technical thing, because I don't think that this civil lawsuit is going to go into a courtroom. I think that they're probably going to do a settlement. They'll probably, and with these kinds of civil lawsuits, the lawyers get most of the money, I'd say. So, and there's like three people that are plaintiffs in this lawsuit. So whatever money they get will have to be divvied up between them. But we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see if they ever get it done.
Yeah, I understand it, that it's not the person, it's the position.
Yeah. And if it's just money and name only, and this new sheriff ain't gonna be out nothing. It's not him personally. It's just
I know.
the office itself.
I know. I just wanted to protect him.
Well, you go right ahead, Mommy.
I'm a protector.
You are. Alan Campbell, don't know for sure, but it sure looks like Mickey is pretty concerned about his family being pulled into all this stuff in the courthouse activities. I can understand why he did what he did. Oh, if it ends up coming out this way, I don't know. I just think, if that was true, why wouldn't they say that? Because here's my thing. Whenever Mickey goes to trial, we already know that they're bringing an extreme emotional disturbance. It's a mental health defense. So, and his lawyer has come out and said that he knew a lot of things. There he was going to this deposition. So after the pew happened, this rumor starts, and they immediately came out and shut it down. They said, no, that's not what happened. Didn't have anything to do with his family. So whenever he goes to court, Ned Pillersdorf came out and said it was called a time to kill defense. But they have to show that the judge was doing something bad enough for that defense to even work. You know what I mean? Like, And nobody's telling any of the secrets except for, like it's coming out through people that want to stay anonymous. But you don't have any agencies. Why don't we have any investigative agencies actually doing their jobs and investigating this kind of stuff? I mean, that would be the ideal situation, is that you would have people really trying to find out the truth. But regardless of that, a time to kill defense, it's pretty much basically jury nullification. So, which you're not allowed to talk about or even hint towards in a court of law. But the jury is allowed to basically, well, not allowed, but the jury is given instructions. Okay, they're either going to find this person guilty or not guilty, and they have to go by certain jury instructions that the judge will give them whenever it's time to go deliberate. Now, they can go back there and deliberate, and they're supposed to go by this, and this. But if they go back there and say, well, I would have done the same thing, I'm not going to convict him. Well, they could everyone come out there and find him not guilty. Now, that would be a form of jury nullification, because we've got a video that shows that he did it. It's not a whodunit. It's a why did he do it. And remember, I'm no lawyer. We're just talking about the way our justice system works and the way our court system works. So that could happen. But in my mind, whenever you come to a defense like that, if you're putting all, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. Count your chickens before they hatch. If they're gonna come with a time to kill defense, then they gotta tell us. They gotta tell us. So Mickey has got to have a story that's bad enough that will justify what he did. At least maybe not legally, but in the court of public opinion. And so far,
So is that going to be his defense?
well, his defense. No, they said it's a mental health defense. They are basically saying it was an extreme emotional disturbance. Ned Pillersdorf was the one who said it was basically a time to kill defense.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it?
Or that he could use one, he could use that possibly. Marjan says, I can tell you that in Arizona, there's a big problem with SA traffic in the whole state because of the Mexico border. Absolutely. I just listened to one on the TV a minute ago. A little girl, 15 years old. She's been missing for 4 months, and they found her in a pedo's closet. Now, she had been held up in this man's bedroom for the last 4 months, and she had messaged her little friend on Facebook Messenger and said, oh, it's so wonderful out here. It's a lot better out here. You gotta remember what kind of homes these kids come from, too. That would be better for her. She would feel like that is better for her than whatever she left, whatever she came from. And it's the way that these people bond with them. That's why the grooming process is so much a part of it. They bond with these people. And it's not just kids. Like with that situation, we're talking about a 14, 15-year-old kid. You look at Ben Fields. You look at the sex trafficking that I think has been going on around here in eastern Kentucky. Look at the stuff that's been going on down there. I don't care. I don't care what the AG's investigator says. I don't care how they frame these women's accusations or interviews, because he basically did that for them. Oh, you saw an opportunity. So whenever he flirted with you, you saw an opportunity to not pay your ankle bracelet, didn't you? Oh yeah. Oh, so you saw the chance. And the one girl even said was feeling bad, said that she felt bad because he had a wife at home. Now, this is the same one that was working at the jail, allegedly beating up these girls that were coming in. But they've got a victim with more compassion and empathy for this man's wife.
Well, that's not uncommon. They identify and they, kind of brainwashed him into identifying with.
Yes. That they make them feel like they're helping them. She said, I don't have anybody in the world. I don't have anywhere to turn to. Who was the one that was willing to help her? Ben. So Ben finds another man who she can sleep with to go stay with. Oh, well, I can hook you up with my Uncle Bill. You slob on his knob some. He might give you some money. He'll help you with your charges. That ain't cool. That is sex trafficking. All you're doing is pimping her out to somebody else. But to her, she feels like I ain't got nobody else to turn to. I ain't got nowhere else nobody else is going to help me.
Well, I think I might have to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mommy. Well, you have a great rest of your evening.
I will.
And I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye, Mommy. I love you.
Love you.
All right, guys. So we are going to go ahead and shut this one on down. And I will see you at 7:30 on Fish for a hillbilly and a fish. All right, guys. Peace out, Girl Scout. See you then.
Can't hide from hillbilly crime.
You can't hide from hillbilly crime.
You can't hide from hillbilly crime.
You may not know that there's a crew in town. The head hillbillies are making their rounds. Small town whispers loud and clear. The sheriff shot the judge in his chambers chair.
Sheriff got a secret he won't keep. Judge shot dead in his disbelief. A lot of people have some stories to tell. Dark pass away, get the sound of a shotgun shell.
All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground, rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Neighbors hide behind their blinds, whisper tales of troubled minds. Skeletons covering the mountainside, a treacherous reality in the pines.
Winter reveals the hidden lies. Moonlight couldn't mask the cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise. On the